There's always been legends told from campfires, frightening people for giggles and spooks. But have you ever wondered to yourself if these legends are real or not? Some legends can be horrifying, while others can leave you some chills in your spine. Today we'll be going down 20 horrifying urban legends from the United States. But keep in mind that legends are just legends and nothing more. Not all of them can be real, while others can be just for fun. But without further ado, let's get started on this list. Slaughterhouse Canyon. Despite that I live in Arizona, I never knew about this legend before, but I find it very interesting. This Arizona legend is about a family in the 1800s living in a canyon in a small wooden shack. The husband wanted nothing more than a better life with his wife, Luna, and their children. The husband would go off to seek for gold and food for his family, but the only thing he could find is food when he returns from his gold searching hunt. He would usually not return until 2 weeks at a time. One day, the husband kissed goodbye to his family and seeked off to find food to provide for his family. Sadly, he never came back, leaving his family starving for weeks. This is where the wife slipped into madness, and the children had to beg for food each day until the day where the wife finally snapped. Without thinking, she murdered the children and cut them up into small pieces. Legend said that the wife was wearing a wedding dress while she was finishing her horrible deeds. The wedding dress and the walls of the wooden shack was painted with the children's blood. She dragged the remains of her children to a nearby river before collapsing and wailing loudly for her children. She remained depressed with guilt while screaming in tears until the next day where she died of starvation. Many have claimed that the screams of the wife can be heard within the canyon. Venturing into the canyon at night is more horrifying since only those who are brave enough can hear the wails and sobs of the wife. The canyon remains haunted to this day.
The Boggy Creek Monster. Despite being the Arkansas version of the Sasquatch, this legend has been going on as early as the 1840s. The creature is said to be 7 feet tall, walks upright, covered with hair, and smells like animals. Exactly like the Sasquatch monster. However, it does consume chicken, livestock, and dogs nearby. It is pretty harmless to humans, to which no one knows why. Many people have claimed to have seen the creature in person since the 1860s. The legend begins to spread out for decades, making the creature popular in Arkansas. There is a 1973 film of the same name, but it's more like a speculation and doesn't connect much to the legend. In 1997, 40 sightings were reported on the creature, to which it was 5 miles south of town. Since then, the legend has started to die down, and souvenirs are still being made today. Many have still stated that the monster is still out there to this day.
Spook Hill. This Florida legend is the only legend on this list that could be stated as real and proven. Legends have stated that the hill was either a site of a Native American burial ground or the epic battle of a Native American chief against a crocodile. The real truth is that it's just an illusion created by the hill's surrounding. Despite the cars are rolling uphill, they're actually rolling downhill. If you're living in Florida and wanted to give it a try giving it a go. Hell's Gate Bridge. This legend is told by citizens of Oxville, Alabama since the 1950s, and it gets brought up from time and time again. It all started when a young couple drove off the bridge one night and both drowned. There are multiple different versions of Hell's Gate Bridge. One legend is that if you drive your car to the middle of the bridge and turn off your lights, you'll find a wet spot in your car. The wet spot you'll find left behind would be the spirits of the couple that drove off the bridge that night. The other legend is that if you look halfway through your shoulders, the scenery will turn into a portal of hell engulfed in flames, to which that's how it got its name. Today, Hell's Gate Bridge is closed for cars, and it will be a bad idea if you walk on the bridge. If you try to attempt to cross Hell's Gate Bridge, you may never know what would happen next.
The Spirits of Hussac Tunnel. Somewhere in western Massachusetts, there has been a tunnel that is haunted by 200 men who had died there. The Hussac Tunnel was in construction for 24 years before the incident happened. Around 1867 to 1868, 13 miners were trapped in the tunnel after the gruesome explosion occurred. Other workers assumed that they were gone, but they discovered that they were still alive. This would result in building a raft to find their way out. Unfortunately, the workers died due to a poisonous gas inhalation. Legends have stated 13 miners still haunt the tunnel, moaning and appearing as ghosts. Many people call the Hussac Tunnel the Bloody Pit.
La Manahora. New Mexico has a legend that is very identical to the Mexican urban legend, to which it was originally came from. La Manahora, which translates to the evil hour, is an area where you wouldn't want to run at night. Legends have stated that it appears as a black ball of energy. If you look at it, it'll drive you insane before slowly heading to your doom. Another legend is that it appears as a horrifying woman. It's said that if you see her at the crossroad, you or someone in your family will die from her. If you don't see her, then you are safe for now.
The Black Angel. In Iowa City, there has existed a legend titled the Black Angel that resides in the Oakland Cemetery. Because of her dark appearance, many legends about the statue have spread. One legend has stated that any woman that is pregnant shouldn't walk under her or she will lose the child. Others say that if you kiss or touch the statue, you will meet your doom within 6 months. Since the statue doesn't move on its own, it's usually harmless, but terrifying to look at.
White Lady Lane. This is one of the most tragic legends on this list. Despite originating from North Dakota, this legend states there was once a woman that was pregnant out of wedlock, and her religious parents forced her to marry the father. Unfortunately, the baby died at her wedding. Despite the baby dead and the forced marriage that she was dragged into, she went to Tarrant Woods to hang herself while in her wedding dress. Legends state that people can see her as a ghost hanging from the bridge, to which I find it a bit horrifying.
The Bus to Nowhere. In Philadelphia, there exists a legend about a bus that doesn't have an end destination. The legend goes that the bus picks up passengers that are in their lowest moments that need some space from their problems. As soon as they're ready to get back on their feet, they can get off the bus, right? Well, no. The passengers would have no clue about how to get out of the bus and how long they have been on the bus. Once you stay on the bus, there is no way back. The Candy Lady. In the 1900s, children went missing one after another in an unnamed rural town in Texas. Residents blamed that it was the Candy Lady for the disappearance of their children. The legend goes that she'll leave candy on children's windows and a note on promising to provide more candy if they come find her. A farmer found rotten teeth on his farm, to which he found the body of a boy with his pockets full of candy. Many had speculated that the Candy Lady was Clara Crane. Despite that she killed her husband with poisonous candy, and DNA tests weren't around at the time, she was dismissed later on.
The Bunny Man. This legend has a lot of different variations based off the bunny. One legend states that the people Clifton were in arms to have their patients from the asylum being transferred to a new asylum. Some of them escaped after the bus crash, and the police tracked each escapee down. Surprisingly, all of the escapees were captured, except for one named the Bunny Man. Another legend goes that the Bunny Man would attack humans that trespasses his territory and hang them. The Bunny Man leaves a note attached to the feet saying like, "You'll never catch the Bunny Man," or "You'll never catch them no matter how much you try." Since then, there has been reports on seeing or attacked by the Bunny Man. It looks like you'll never catch the Bunny Man.
The Story of Sacrifice Cliff. In Montana, there's a story based off an old Native American legend. Two members of the Crow tribe arrived back to their village from their trip, only to find that their village had got smallpox and died completely. Despite losing their loved ones and feeling heartbroken, the two put blindfolds on their horses and rode off the cliff to join their tribe on the other side. Sacrifice Cliff is sad and spooky when looming over the entire city and thinking about the legend.
The Jersey Devil. This story has been around in New Jersey since the 18th century. The legend goes that a woman named Mother Leeds became pregnant with her 13th child. She said, "Let this one be the devil." After the child was born, it had a tail, hooves, wings, and horns like the devil. As it got older, it was free from Mother Leeds. The monster is still out there in New Jersey to this day. The Little Girl on Knock Knock Road. This Michigan legend says that the little girl was murdered on Knock Knock Road in the Detroit area. Unlike Teke Teke, she is more younger than her Japanese counterpart and appeared on car windows. She'll knock on each car window trying to find the person who killed her. If you are the murderer of the little girl, you'll meet your doom.
Night Marchers. In Hawaii, there exists a legend called Night Marchers. They aren't evil spirits, but rather spirits of ancient Hawaiian warriors that are marching around the islands to protect their sacred areas and demand respect. According to the legend, if you look at a night marcher, you'll be marked for death. If you find yourself in the middle of a procession, you're supposed to lie down on the middle of the road, meeting your doom. Ghost Town of Lake Lanier. Around northern Georgia, there exists a legend about this ghost town. According to the legend, Lake Lanier was once a town that provided homes, a horse track, cemeteries, and many businesses. However, the government ordered the citizens of Lake Lanier to clear space for the lake after the town received the congressional approval in 1946. Unfortunately, the citizens decided to leave the water covering up their town instead of demolishing. This would have resulted in Lake Lanier being completely abandoned and sunken into the lake. In 2011, there were an unusual amount of freak accidents and deaths taking place at the lake, to which there were 17 deaths alone. Many had reported feeling arms and legs in the water, only to find that they weren't even there. To this day, people believe that spirits still roam around Lake Lanier. Cropsy. The story of Cropsy is a very interesting one, especially since it originated from New York. According to the legend, it is said that a man stalked children from sleepaway camps, mental institutions, children's hospitals, and murdered his young victims who go out alone at night. It is said that the man had a hook for his hand, and he went by the name Andre Rand. He was responsible for kidnapping a 12-year-old girl with Down syndrome named Jennifer Schwager. As soon as her body was found, he was placed under arrest. Although Rand was never officially charged, but he was found guilty of kidnapping, and he was sentenced to 25 years in prison.
The Charred Man. This legend is a bit gruesome and terrifying to hear, especially since it came from California. In 1948, a father and son were both caught in a house fire and horribly burned. After putting out the fire, the son was unstable and hung with his father. As soon as the police arrived, they were unable to recognize the son and mistaken him for being dead. The son was able to run away before the police could have been able to arrest him for the murder of his father. According to the legend, the Charred Man is still wandering around the woods to approach his victims by pretending to be a hitchhiker before attacking them.
Grunch Road. Not to be confused with the Grinch, this Louisiana legend takes place on an old dirt road that leads over into deep woods. This road is best known as a place where teenagers go to do what teenagers usually do. That is, until they acknowledge the Grunch's existence. A Grunch is a deformed half-human and half-monster that spends years of isolation from the outside world. According to the legend, it is said that if you are at Grunch Road, don't even think of getting out of your car, especially if you see an injured goat. It is stated that the Grunch uses goats as bait to get people out of the car so that they can consume their victims and drain their blood.
Homie the Clown. Sometime around the 1990s, there has been rumors around Chicago Elementary School that there is a creepy man that dresses up as Homie the Clown from the show In Living Color. He would drive around in a white van to lure in his young victims with a promise of candy or money. Other variations would state that he was a kidnapper, while other times that he was a rapist. What makes it even more creepy and unsettling is that who is the guy dressed up as Homie the Clown? Why did he do this? And where is he now? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, leave a like. Comment below which country-based urban legends should I cover next in the future, and subscribe to my channel. I'll appreciate it a lot, and thanks for Sakura Stardust for joining me on this video. And I also want to say thank you for 65 subscribers. and I totally appreciate it, you guys. You guys rock a lot. Again, thank you guys so much for watching my video, and I hope to see you all in the next video. RedBoiPaul signing off.